We will all remember Ivan and Zach for their bravery and for their dedication to the department.
Where would we be without their sacrifice?
York to engine 99-1, firefighter Flanscha. York to engine 99-1, firefighter Anthony. The last alarm for firefighter Flanscha and firefighter Anthony has now ended. They have gone home.
Honoring two fallen heroes killed in the line of duty. Thousands of people coming together tonight in York to remember firefighters Ivan Flanscha and Zachary Anthony. We are glad you're with us here at 5. I'm Rob Hanrahan.
And I'm Jasmine Brooks. The tone could be best described as somber in York City today as people came together for this event.
We have all the angles covered this evening inside and outside of that memorial. CBS 21's Michael Gorsinger, Lara Greenberg, Erica Such, Chris Allen, and Brendan Kinney are all in York County.
We begin tonight with Michael Gorsinger, who was inside the York Expo Center. And Michael, what an emotional day.
Absolutely a somber ceremony here inside Memorial Hall as thousands gathered to pay their final respects to these two men who ultimately gave their lives for their community. Memories shared, a lot of people talking about the lives they lived, tears shed. It was definitely a day to remember. Bells toll, bagpipers play. Thousands gather, all to remember the lives of two men who made the ultimate sacrifice.
I thank God for Ivan. I think God threw him into my path because he was a reminder of what I should be striving for.
Zach was a crazy dreamer who looked for good in everyone and found it too.
Despite the tragedy, memories shine bright for the friends and family of firefighters Ivan Flanscha and Zach Anthony.
Ivan and Zach both had a passion for the job. Although it's not the official job title, they were both kick-ass firefighters.
The pair was killed when a wall collapsed on them Thursday at the old Weaver Piano Building along North Broad Street in York. Two others, Assistant Fire Chief Greg Altland and firefighter Eric Swanson, were seriously hurt.
Your recovery is our recovery.
Family, friends, and fellow firefighters packing Memorial Hall to pay tribute. Governor Tom Wolf and U.S. Senator Bob Casey among them. This tragedy, a sad reminder of the reality that our first responders face every day.
More than a job, it is a calling. It is truly a calling. We owe Zach and Ivan and all those who answer this call and who serve the public a deep gratitude that is too deep to repay.
Senator Casey and Congressman Scott Perry handing over two United States flags to the families, both flying proudly over the U.S. Capitol on March 22nd, that fateful day. Governor Wolf presenting the Commonwealth's colors.
There are no words large enough, there's no sentiment grand enough, no thanks adequate to honor what they did for us.
Paying tribute today to help move forward tomorrow.
Loss is hard. Grief is hard. Having lost my brother, my friend, and my hero will never not sting.
And the final piece of that puzzle will take place tomorrow. That's when a funeral service will be held for Zach Anthony. It's taking place in Gettysburg. A viewing from 1 to 3 and 5 to 7, open to the public. Live in York, Michael Gorsinger, CBS 21 News.
All right, Michael, and just to go over that again, Zachary Anthony will be laid to rest tomorrow. Funeral services are scheduled for 7 p.m. at Freedom Valley Church in Gettysburg. Viewings will be at 1 to 3 and then again 5 to 7 p.m. Burial will be private. Thousands attended the service today to pay their respects to the families of Flanscha and Anthony.
And that includes loved ones and their fellow firefighters. CBS 21's Lara Greenberg continues our team coverage tonight in York. And Lara, the women you spoke with, they were pretty shaken.
That's right, Jasmine. In fact, we were just talking to people in the parking lot as they were filing into the service today, and it just so happened that the two women I spoke with had direct connections to York City firefighters that were here at the collapse this day last week when Zachary Anthony and Ivan Flanscha died. Now, I spoke with Kyla Caruso, who had first heard about the building collapse last week, and when she first heard of it, she thought of her dad because he is a York City firefighter. He was here that day. He was injured. She says that the collapse took a lot out of him.
physically he's hurting, but I think emotionally he's hurting even more just because there's two of his best friends that he lost in the fire.
She's away at college now, but she just felt the need to be at this service today, and so did all of the people I spoke with today. Some of them had never been to a service of this kind or of this magnitude, but they knew that they just had to be there, and we'll have much more coming up at 6. For now, live in York, Lara Greenberg, CBS 21 News.
Thank you, Lara. The York community has been rallying behind the Flanscha and Anthony family since the tragic accident last week. You can find red light bulbs along the streets of the city. Ceremonial black buntings have also been draped at the City Fire Service's headquarters. Hundreds of people have also been donating to a growing makeshift memorial. CBS 21's Erica Such continues our team coverage from York.
Eric, what is the community's reaction to this?
Robin, Jasmine, while the first responder presence today was immense, so was the community support as dozens of residents showed up to show their support. Some of them didn't even know Ivan or Zachary.
They're brave. They go in a building where anybody else would be on fire. They wouldn't go in there, but they have to risk their lives to go in the building, even though there's danger.
We can give to the different charities that are helping them with different programs, but we can't bring that person back. So at least this is as little as I can do. This is the least that I can do to come out and say thank you.
Those two men, just two of many who showed up alongside first responders today to pay their respects to the families of Ivan Flanscha and Zachary Anthony. Both tell us they didn't know each firefighter, but know what a crucial role they played in the community. They say they're thankful for the York City Firefighters and other first responders who protect the city they live in every day. The one man told us it's just a small gesture he could make to help show the two families that they support them in this tragic time. And if you'd like to help support these families, there's many different VFWs and groups that are raising money for the families. You can find more of that information on our website, cbs21.com. Live in York, Erica Such, CBS 21 News.
And there are a number of ways that you can help the families of the fallen firefighters.
The York professional firefighters are selling T-shirts. The shirts are $20 each, with $10 from each purchase going to the families. So far, more than $12,000 has been raised through the shirts. They will be on sale until April 4th. A
GoFundMe account to help the families of Flanscha and Anthony have also been raising a ton of money. Over $77,000 has been raised. The goal is $100,000. Those links to purchase the T-shirts and donate to that GoFundMe, all on cbs21.com.
The job never ends for our local firefighters. Some who came to mourn the ultimate sacrifice of Flanscha and Anthony sprang into action.
Yeah, just a few blocks away from the procession, a house fire broke out in West York. CBS 21's Chris Nallen is live in West York where that fire happened earlier. Chris, what happened?
Yeah, it was right here in West York where that fire came about, and it was this home right here that went up in flames, and that smoke could be seen from that memorial, and those firefighters were called to duty once again.
We're all appreciative of firefighters, believe me.
They risk their lives for anyone in harm's way.
It's definitely in the back of your mind. You can't, keep worrying about it. You just got to focus on the task at hand.
It's a task that takes work, a unit of firefighters from multiple stations on hand.
It's a real big brotherhood.
That come together to fight another blaze. Don Garrett with Pelham Township Fire Department, also a brother of the woman who was inside this home with her children.
There was 2 kids in the house. She was giving her daughter a bath, her son a bath. And she said everything went dark. She ran into her bedroom, and at that point in time, her bed was on fire.
With the help of several brave souls, this fire extinguished, lives saved. A firefighter's job is just never done. Barely a moment to grieve before being called back out.
No matter where you go, what department you're with, everybody is willing to help everybody out and be there for each other.
Don's father, Lee Garrett, proud of his son, a firefighter, and all firefighters who go above and beyond.
People don't understand what, problems they go through to go in a fire to save people. I mean, they put their lives in front of everything else.
And all the people that were in that home safe along with the firefighters. Live tonight in West York, Chris Nallen, CBS 21 News.
All right, Chris, our coverage of the Firefighters Memorial continues at CBS21.com. There you can watch the entire memorial and learn more about the building collapse. The bond between firefighters has been on display throughout the day.
Coming up, how companies from across central Pennsylvania helped York officials today.
And weather not exactly cooperating. We've got more showers continuing on into the nighttime hours. When does the rain end? We'll show you that in my first warning forecast. Straight ahead.
And we continue to remember 2 fallen firefighters. CBS 21 News at 5 will return in just a few moments.
We will all remember Ivan and Zach for their bravery and for their dedication to the department.
Where would we be without their sacrifice?
A big part of today's service included bagpipers and drummers who traditionally play at firefighters' memorial services and funerals. They're called the Emerald Society, and some travel from far away. 2 drummers we spoke with flew in from Salt Lake City, Utah in just 10 hours' notice. They're also firefighters and fly all over the country to attend services.
It's priceless. It's a time in our lives that we'll never be able to explain what it means to us. It's as if going to your own brother's funeral. It really is.
They say this was one of 7 line-of-duty services across the country this week alone. The bond between firefighters is on display stronger than ever today in York.
Fellow firefighters from across the area are reaching out to help their brothers and sisters during one of the darkest days in decades. CBS 21's Brendan Kinney live in York tonight with some examples that you've seen all day.
Good evening, Rob and Jasmine. The unbreakable bond between firefighters was clear today, especially here at Station 9 in York. Firefighters from Lancaster stepped up and they responded to the call of duty to help out their colleagues in York just today. They made the trip to York to cover calls so that firefighters who work here at Station 9 could attend today's memorial service. Among the thousands of people who paid their respects for the 2 fallen heroes were some who know firsthand the dangers of fighting fires. Donald Gardner is a retired firefighter from Harrisburg.
We face death every day, so this possibility, which happened to these 2 gentlemen, could have happened to any of us. Many of us had close calls. That's why we all get together when there's this kind of a thing.
You're taking a live look now at the memorial for these 2 fallen heroes. You can see flowers there on that bench right outside of Station 9. Coming up tonight at 5:30, you're going to hear from a firefighter who works and lives in D.C. but is actually from Central PA. You're going to hear the personal reason why he came up today to pay his respects. We're live in York tonight. Brendan Kinney, CBS 21 News.
Brendan, thank you. In other news today, also marks the 39th anniversary of the partial meltdown at the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant. A cooling system malfunctioned in the unit's 2 reactors, causing the partial meltdown. A small amount of radiation was released into the surrounding environment, and as a result, the unit was shut down for good. It took 14 years to clean up after the meltdown. Back in 2009, the license for the plant to continue running was extended for 20 years.
A Center County judge has thrown out involuntary manslaughter and other serious charges against 11 Beta Theta Pi fraternity members. The frat members were arrested in connection with the death of Timothy Piazza. This is the 2nd time the felony charges have been thrown out against the men. They do face additional charges that have been allowed to stand, including hazing and alcohol violations. Timothy Piazza died in February of last year from head injuries during a hazing incident on the campus of Penn State.
And now, CBS 21 News First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell.
All right, that dreary weather just continues. As try as we might, we just can't shake these showers. They're starting to taper off a little bit. That's what you pick up here on the radar with me. You see all the green, and then we get a little break. But if you've been outside, we know you still have some spattering of some drizzle, maybe a little spotty shower here or there. And I think as the evening goes on, the biggest threat will actually be fog, as that moisture is just kind of trapped here at the surface. So again, you see that heavy rain kind of going away, and then you don't see a whole lot happening as of right now. A couple of spotty showers here, but take the umbrella umbrella with you. You will need it. It's damp, it's drizzly, and there's lots more where this came from. You can see the showers kind of moving in, but you see this long line of showers as you look back to the south and west for us. So it's a pretty potent pipeline, if you will, as you get these rain showers continuing here. You can see that wave kind of pushing through and then pushing southward a little bit, so a little bit less off to the north, but you will deal with those showers. This is the most frustrating thing. I mean, look at this map. 70 in Nashville, 74 in Raleigh, and we're stuck in the 40s. I mean, this stuff is so close. We just got this wedge of cooler air. Matter of fact, look out to the west. 52 in Johnstown, 55 Pittsburgh. It's warmer in Bradford, for heaven's sakes. 50. We're stuck at 46. Let's talk about some showers that continue this evening. Again, some on and off spotty showers. Same deal as we go through the early part of tomorrow. I think most of the time we're dry. You don't see a whole lot happening here. Another wave tomorrow evening, and then watch this. As we get into early Friday, more showers, but that is the end of it. I think by lunchtime Friday, we're finally drying things out. So here's your travel forecast as we go through the evening, the overnight, the morning. We're still dealing with those rainy conditions. Daytime tomorrow, I think just cloudy, so slightly improving conditions. Here's what we're looking at. Some scattered showers tonight. Not as cold as we're in the 40s. That's basically our low. Watch out for foggy conditions. And then here's your 7-day forecast. As we get into tomorrow, again, some showers for the early part of the day, but the whole day is not a washout. 62. Yes, keep your fingers crossed. Let's get in the 60s. Showers on the early part of Friday, 58. And then by Saturday, we're at 56. Sunday, sunshine, 55. And then Monday, 50 degrees. So a little cooler as we get into Easter. Some showers return for Tuesday of next week. So interesting days that we just can't shake these showers. But
a lot of people talking about how dreary it is.
It really wears on you after a while, but we'll be better for Easter weekend.
Perfect. Right. Thanks, Tom. Well, the future of the Second Amendment is up for debate tonight.
The president is going up against a former Supreme Court justice. Coming up, why officials say the upcoming midterm elections could decide the future of gun control laws in the nation. The attorney for adult film star Stormy Daniels is filing a motion looking for permission to depose President Trump and his attorney. Michael Avenatti says he wants to question the president and Michael Cohen about a non-disclosure agreement signed before the 2016 election. Daniels claims she and the president had a one-time sexual encounter back in 2006. The lawsuit claims payments to silence Daniels were made to, quote, help ensure then-candidate Trump won the election.
We want to know the truth about what the president knew, when he knew it, and what he did about it.
Avenatti says the payment by Cohen would violate campaign finance laws. The lawyer for Michael Cohen called the motion a, quote, reckless and politically motivated charade. The White House has denied all allegations. An early morning tweet from President Trump about gun control is sparking a new debate today.
The president is going up against a former Supreme Court justice over the Second Amendment. Chief political correspondent Scott Thuman has more.
The fight over firearms is getting a new opinion from a man who's now free to offer them. Retired Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens, writing in an op-ed, it's time for a repeal of the Second Amendment, allowing for a more modern crafting of gun legislation. In reaction, a President Trump tweet that it will never be repealed. We need more Republicans in 2018 and must always hold the Supreme Court.
Pundits say it's less likely you would see any big moves on gun control from here at the Supreme Court, and more likely to take place just across the street in the form of a possible shakeup of who's in charge.
In fact, the midterm elections this fall may be the end game.
Who here is going to vote in the 2018 election?
Democrats need to gain 24 seats for a majority in the House and a couple seats in the Senate. And some say the lawmakers most at risk could be those who refrain from acting on gun reform.
If they do not bring about change, I think people should be held absolutely accountable at the ballot box.
But rallies on the Hill or even marches to the home of Republican Speaker Paul Ryan don't represent the whole.
It's not a gun that commits a crime. It's a gun in the hands of an evil person.
In fact, the Political Action Committee for the NRA has seen a colossal boost in donations, many after the Parkland shooting. They tripled from around $250,000 in January to over $750,000 last month, meaning no one may have a clear advantage just yet in the fight over firearms or seats on the Hill.
In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
Tonight, people are remembering 2 fallen firefighters in York.
Coming up, our live team coverage from York continues with a look inside the memorial for Ivan Flanscha and Zachary Anthony.
You're watching CBS 21 News at 5.